Ramble. I've started to kind of want to just make videos of me like picking a topic and kind of talking about it. I feel like sometimes that's my favorite kind of videos to watch. So I'm sort of directing my content in that direction, but not entirely. But anyways, today I thought I would kind of just discuss my year of 2021 because it was something else. It definitely went differently than I assumed it would, but in the end it's definitely been for the better. So yeah, let's just get started. January, oh my goodness, January was a time. Nothing really happened. I was just like working at the mall, doing my thing, making some videos. I think I was posting 3 a week at this point. I was just kind of like in my same routine I'd been in, apart from when I wasn't working, but like a kind of like the same routine as I'd been in for like the last 2 years. Apart from like when I was quarantining, when the whole world shut down, you know what I mean? But like January 2021 was nothing really special. Apart from the fact that my mental health was kind of really bad at that point and I didn't really know it. I was losing weight significantly fast since last year. In December of last year, I've lost 30 pounds without like doing anything about it. Like I wasn't, eating better or exercising for the sole purpose of losing weight. Like I just lost a lot of weight, which had to do with just how badly my mental health was. I was so anxious and like honestly just really depressed, and the one thing that I was able to control was my hunger, if that makes sense. It wasn't a good thing. I guess I should mention, I'm gonna put a trigger warning in the description box, but I'm gonna put a trigger warning here that this video could trigger you. It is kind of talking a little bit about eating disorders, mental health, depression, suicide, that kind of thing, because that was my reality in 2021. So I was losing a bunch of weight, and I didn't really understand. Like I didn't know what was happening at first. I didn't have an appetite. Because you sometimes do things as a coping mechanism without consciously making that decision, if that makes sense. So I was losing a lot of weight, and I used to talk about it in like my videos from about this time last year. I was kind of talking about it, but I didn't really realize what was going on. And then I was like, I probably shouldn't just be so freely talking about this. I don't want to harm anyone else. So I was kind of struggling with that. And I was struggling, just my mental health was just not great. And then in March, my grandpa died, sort of unexpectedly, and that was incredibly hard for me. Then my mental health wasn't great, but I thought I was gonna be good. In January and February, I was like, once, summer hits, I will get my life together. It'll be okay. And then my grandpa died, and I've talked about it a lot. I wasn't in a place to share when it happened. I kind of just told you guys, like, yeah, I lost someone really close to me, and it was really hard because I didn't post for like, I think it was about a week. My grandma was staying at my mom's house, and like my family was like in and out a little bit. Yeah, so I didn't film, and then everyone was like, it's okay, and I didn't really talk about it for a while because I couldn't. I always was like, I was always confused when people were so upset when their grandparents died. And then I found out when my grandpa died, I was like, oh, this is why. Like, it is, that they're elderly, that their days are numbered, but it still just like ripped my heart out. Like I didn't have to like, well, I mean, outwardly I did, but on the inside, I was just so sad about it. He was like just one of my favorite people ever. He was just so amazing. my mom had lost her dad, so it wasn't like, she was dealing with it, and I was trying to deal with it, but I needed some more support, but I didn't want to ask her for it because she was dealing with, like, a worse thing than me. In my head, that's kind of what I thought. Anyways, I spiraled really badly. Like, the next couple months are a little bit of a blur to me. Like, I know what happened, but I just was getting by. I haven't been diagnosed with, like, derealization or disassociation, but I'm pretty sure that I do disassociate. So I'll do kind of just, like, the bare minimum to get by. And that's kind of what I did for the next few months. And then fast forward to May, I quit my job and I moved. My sister bought a house, and so I moved in with them. And I thought that, like, that was gonna be the solution to my problems. Like, it was just gonna be better. And then that move didn't do what I wanted it to do. I was, like, making videos every day. I was, like, not working at the mall, and I really thought that that was just gonna help. And I was living with my sister, you know. And I was previously living with my mom, and then I moved to a different town. I moved back to my hometown with my sister, and I thought it was gonna be the solution, and things just were getting worse. I was incredibly trigger warning. I was not in a good headspace, and my mom kept trying to talk to me about it, and I would just cry, and we wouldn't really get anywhere because I just didn't feel like I should tell her, because, you know, weakness isn't really, like, something I like to show or admit to. I'm very good at, like, pretending that I'm fine. You know, I'm a perfect example of, like, checking on your strong friends, because outwardly I was good, but if you were spending, like, multiple days with me, or I was able to open up to you, you knew, like, things weren't good. So then I started getting help. I got put on antidepressants finally, when my mom was just like, I'm taking you to the doctor. I started seeing my counselor. Things were really good there. I am on my was also a depressant. So yeah, but I just feel like I talk about like my sobriety, but then I'll be like, oh yeah, but like I had this drink. So it's like a work in progress. If you've ever been on like a journey like that, you'll know that it's not linear. Like you don't just stop, you don't just and never do it again. Like some people can, but that's not everyone's journey, and it's definitely not been mine. So yeah, and I am more able to control myself now. Like I genuinely have one, maybe two depending on the crowd, but yeah. So I got sober as much as I can be. I'm still working on it, but I think that's been something that I've really enjoyed about the last couple months. I don't actually even have a date of when I stopped because I still have like the occasional drink. But yeah, that has helped me a lot. 2021 has been such a journey for me. I've just changed so much and realized what I wanted and helped myself more than I ever thought I would, and I'm just in such a better place. I mean, I still have work to do. I'm not 100% who I want to be, but I'm just so much better than I was in January of 2021, so I'm really proud of myself. If you would have asked me a year ago, I would just tell you I'm a failure. I have nothing, I've accomplished nothing, like I'm not good. But now I can say that I am proud of myself and how far I've come, and that I like never given up, and like definitely just switching my thinking has been a huge part of my 2021. Let me think. Oh, another really sad thing that happened to me this year is my dog died, and it was horrible. I was devastated, but I was just starting my antidepressants, and if you've ever started antidepressants, I was maybe like 2-3 weeks on them. Sometimes you don't feel much at first, so I was like, I knew I should be upset, and I was upset, but I was like not able to necessarily process my feelings, so that was horrible to have happen at the same time. And like I've processed it now and I'm good. I had my good cry, but when it was happening I didn't feel it the way that I'd wanted to, which is sad, but I'm okay now. I'm trying to think of like something exciting that happened. I mean, my YouTube channel has done much better than I thought it ever would. I mean, I didn't reach the goal that I had wanted, but I'm close enough, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, I've done great things. I'm really happy about everyone that's like been here. I'm trying to think of like a fun, exciting story. This year was definitely just a lot of growth for me, I guess, which is okay. I think I definitely needed it. It's been a long time coming. I was just kind of skirting past for a while. Yeah, I just didn't think this year was gonna go the way that it did, but I'm just so glad that it did. If you're struggling with your mental health or sobriety or anything like that, people say that like actually putting in the work is like the best thing they've ever done for themselves, and I'm just gonna reiterate it because it's the best thing I've done for myself. I feel like you guys can probably tell that I'm just like doing so much better. I still have bad days, but that's fine. We all kind of have bad days still, and that's just something you gotta have to accept. But yeah, I guess we ended in May. May I moved. June was a disaster. July, I believe July, August is when I kind of started being more like taking care of myself better. I had this incident where I cried at my cousin's wedding for no reason, and then my mom was like, no, she wasn't even there, she actually had to pick me up. She wasn't at the wedding, but yeah, she had to pick me up. I had this whole freak out, and that was like the end of it, and she was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. August was good. I spent a lot of time at the lake, which was nice. What happened in September? I don't know, I feel like nothing's happened. My stepsister got married this year. My nephew turned 1. My other nephew, I think he's 13, and my niece is, I think she's 8 or 9. I can't remember. I'm a terrible aunt. I'm putting that on the yeah, I guess that's my like ramble about what happened. It was sad. It was sad. It was not